Okay, so it's 3 minutes past 10, so we will start with this first webinar of this week. Welcome everybody. My name is Georgina Couchard. I'm the Innovation Manager at EIT Urban Mobility. Let me see if I can pass the slides. Yes. So as I said just a minute ago, this is the first session of a series of webinars that we are going to have from today until Thursday. You see, today is basically the general explanation of the main innovation call for 2025. This will follow by 3 thematic sessions, one for each of the topics of the call. This afternoon, public transport. Tomorrow we have urban logistics and electrification and alternative fuels. And on Wednesday, we have a dedicated session for cities, followed by more hands-on webinar on the application form and how to submit your applications. And Thursday, we have 2 webinars on very specific issues, very characteristic of our call. One is the commercialization and financial sustainability, and the second one is on intellectual property. Please note that all the sessions are recorded and will be available in the B2Match platform and also on the call website, on the call webpage. You will see that here in Zoom, you have the chat option. So any questions that you have during this webinar, you can just post them on the chat and we will answer them at the very end. Okay, because we have about 15 minutes for questions at the end. I will move on with the agenda. And before I start, actually, I need to send the apologies from our Interim Director of Innovation, Adriana Diaz, who, due to unexpected circumstances, she's not able to join us this morning. She sends her apologies, but rest assured, we're going to have a very good webinar. So I will prepare a bit, present a bit what she had in mind in terms of the strategic focus. Then I will continue and give you a bit of a deep dive into the call requirements for this year. And then after me, my colleague Marta Alvarez, who is the Stakeholder and Partnership Manager from the Innovation Hub South, will present to you our community and the partner benefits, especially for those of you who are new to EIT Urban Mobility. That's going to be very interesting. And then we will follow with some Q&A. So without further delay, I will start with the content of this webinar. In terms of strategic focus, as you know, we are in the midst of a climate emergency, and one of the goals of EIT Urban Mobility, and in particular of the innovation program, is to radically advance commercially viable solutions that accelerate change towards a sustainable mobility model for cities. So our purpose is that with our support, you can bring your solutions to market faster than you would do without our support. The innovation program, we focus on impact. And what do we mean impact? We mean it's about improving the quality of lives of cities, mitigating climate change, support the economic growth and employment in the EU, but also it's generating a bit of return for EIT Urban Mobility in terms of financial sustainability. And how we do that? We do that by supporting the deployment and piloting of market-ready solutions across Europe. Our project's DNA, if we need to summarize in one slide what kind of projects we focus on, I would summarize it in this way. Our projects are challenge-oriented. By that, what we mean is that they need to respond to an existing or anticipated urban mobility challenge that it's clearly identified, and the project has to be a must-have for cities, public transport, mobility operators. So it's not something that they do because it's nice to do, but something that really solves a problem they are facing. The other key characteristic of our projects is that they are close to market. We don't fund early stage research or lots of, basically research work. We focus on the last stages of product development, piloting, and preparation of the market deployment. This is very important because otherwise you need to, I will go back to that in a few minutes when I talk about the TRL, but if you have a solution that is still very early stage that is not working, then in a year's time, which is the duration of our project, you don't possibly have the time to bring it to market. So we want you to succeed, and that's why we focus on this specific period. And the third point is about leveraging commercial efforts. EIT Urban Mobility works hand in hand with the commercial partners to help you expand and grow. The 2025 Innovation Call. The focus of our call is on 3 topics. It's urban logistics, electrification of transport and alternative fuels, and public transport. We aim to support pan-European multidisciplinary consortia projects that, as I said before, they respond to a specific challenge or anticipated challenge from a city. We target these projects that are at the final stages of technology demonstration, and we want to accelerate their market deployment. So we expect projects to have reached already at proposal stage a minimum TRL level of 6. We already have a growing portfolio of projects, and that's why for this call, we aim to select projects that complement our existing portfolio by addressing new business models, technological advances, or market demands. With that, I would encourage you to take a look at our projects database that we have on our website and have a look at what we have funded so far to make sure that whatever you're proposing is something new and complementary. And finally, 2 key aspects of the call is that we are aligned with the mission on climate and neutral cities from the European Commission that aims to accelerate digital energy and mobility transformation. And for the logistics topic, we also work very closely with the European technology platform, ALES. Now, this is a bit the strategic focus, the overall aim and goals of the innovation program and the call for 2025. And now I'm going to deep dive a little bit more on the call specific requirements. As you may be aware, we launched the call 2 weeks ago on the 4th of April, and it will be open for 2 months. So it will close on 4th of June at 5 p.m. Central European time. The call is structured in 2 stages. We have a first stage, which is the external evaluation. Your proposal will be evaluated by external experts. And there will be a short list, and those that are shortlisted will be invited to a panel hearing that will take place around September. We will communicate the results of the call in October, and the tentative dates for the project is November, December this year. The budget available is 8 million euros, including 1 million euros for RIS, the Regional Innovation Scheme. And approximately the size or the budget size for the projects is between 250,000 to 500,000 per project. And this, of course, it depends on the proposed scope, impact, value for money. The co-funding rate for our call is 35% across the project, excluding the risk partners who can go with a 25%. And you will see here at the bottom, we have set up a mailbox specifically for this call. So if you have any questions regarding the call documentation, you can reach out to us at innovationcall2025@erturbanmobility.eu. So the topic, the call, focuses, as I said, in 3 topics. They are quite open, but still you will see in the call manual that we do point out to some specific themes that will be prioritized. For the 3 topics are urban logistics, the first one, and we have 2.5 million euros of EIT funding available for this topic, and it's basically about improving the planning and operation of the transportation and distribution of goods. And here we talk obviously about parcel delivery, but also other types of goods or materials like construction and bulk delivery, or even waste management. The second topic is electrification of transport and alternative fuels. We focus here on the uptake of zero emission and clean energy solutions that decarbonize our transport. Same budget as for urban logistics. We have 2.5 million euros of EIT funding. And the third topic, this is new compared to last year. We have one specific topic on public transport, and we aim to look for innovative solutions that improve the planning, operation, and customer experience of public transport services, buses, trams, metro stations, etc. For this topic, we have 3 million euros of EIT funding. As I said before, for the 3 topics, we already have a portfolio of projects that we have funded in the past years. So we encourage everybody to take a look at our website and check what we have funded so far. For these 3 topics, you've seen that we have a dedicated session for each of them, where we will provide more details on the content, on the description, in addition to some pitches from interested applicants. I think the one from this afternoon is in public transport, and then tomorrow you have urban logistics and electrification of transport. If we continue with the core requirements, the first question to ask is, am I eligible? Can I apply? So the minimum requirements we require for this call is to have at least 3 independent legal entities established in 2 EU member states or countries associated with Horizon Europe. So 3 entities, 2 of them could eventually be from the same country, but one of them has to be from another country. And we have specific requirements in terms of the type of partners who should be in the consortia. At least we need 1 commercial partner, is the partner who takes care of bringing the solution to market, and 2 demo hosts, which they have to be from 2 different eligible countries. These demo hosts can be a city or a municipal government. It can be an entity with direct links to the city or municipal government. Here, what we mean with direct links, it can be a municipal agency, a public transport operator, a living lab from the city, etc. And the third option is that you can also have a private company who has an existing concession for a mobility service from a municipal city. They can also be considered as hosts. As I said, these were the minimum consortium requirements, these 3 partners, but we do expect, we recommend a slightly bigger consortia that really encourages more collaboration between each other. So again, for our recommended consortium would be to have a commercial partner, as I said, 2 demo hosts, and it's important when you discuss in your consortia who can be the demo host, that they are really involved in the project, that the solution that you're going to be testing really addresses a true pain point for them, and that is aligned with the city mobility strategy. And then we also recommend to include in your consortium a technology expert partner. This is an entity with a specific technological expertise with excellence on a specific technological field who can support the commercial partner in developing or validating the solution to be commercialized. Apart from these, one of the consortium partners or even an additional one can take the role of project leader, who is basically the coordinator of the project and make sure that all the reporting is done. Importantly, part of the evaluation criteria looks at the consortium composition. It's 5 points out of the evaluation criteria. And when you set up your proposal, make sure that all partners have a justifiable core role and appropriate budget. The other aspect to look at when you're preparing your application form for our call is the technology readiness level. As I mentioned before, the solution to be piloted should have successfully reached a minimum TRL level of 6. That means that, for example, that your solution, it's functional, it works, you have tested it a little bit, or if you are talking about a software solution, it means a better version of your software that you have tested with a reduced number of users. So that would be the starting point of your project. And during the project, you would go through TRL 7 and 8, because during the project, you're going to further develop your solution and test it in the 2 or 3 demo sites that you select. with the idea that right after the project, you can swiftly go into commercialization, which would be the TRL 9. One of the new things we have in the call this year is that we have it is possible for all the applicants to include in your proposal a link to a 1-minute video of the solution showing your main features and demonstrating the TRL level. This is not mandatory, but it's highly recommended that it will help a lot the evaluators to really understand your solution and to verify that it's at the right TRL scale. And here you have a link to a resource on the internet, which really describes the TRL levels. In case you have questions, it's very well explained. The other aspect that we put a lot of emphasis this year is on intellectual property. And with that, what I mean is that proposals, at proposal stage, the applicants should demonstrate 2 key things. The first is that you have taken important steps to protect the underlying technologies, processes, components, brands of the future product and service. That doesn't mean that you need to have already your patent in place in several countries or worldwide, but at least you need to have a clear strategy and a clear step to protect the technology, especially because you will be soon commercializing it. The other aspect is that you need to show that it's commercially safe to make or sell the proposed solution. With that, what we recommend is that you submit together with your application form a freedom to operate or similar study that basically states that you are not infringing any other patents from other products. This FTO is something recommended. It's not mandatory, but again, it will help in the evaluation. Because this year we are putting a lot of emphasis on intellectual property and checking that all our projects have the right IP management structures in place. We have a dedicated session on this on Thursday in the afternoon. So if you have any questions, you will be able to address them there. Another aspect of all our projects is we take very seriously all gender and diversity measures that you put in place, because for us, diversity means better innovation. Because of that, projects should describe how they plan to consider gender and diversity in the design and development of the solutions and pilots, and also explain how they plan to promote women and underrepresented groups taking an active role in the project implementation. Please note that this is what, again, it's part of the evaluation criteria. It's 5 points in the evaluation. Key performance indicators. So for those of you who have already participated in EIT Urban Mobility Project, or those of you who are new, these are very important for us. So each project that we fund needs to have 2 mandatory key performance indicators. That's the 2 that you see here on the table in green. The EIT 2.4, 2.5, this is the marketed innovation. It's basically, as you will see, it means that you have identified a product that you want to test and pilot through the project and that you will later commercialize. The minimum mandatory KPI for that is 1. And the other one is the KSN02, which are basically the demonstrations, pilots, or living labs in a city. For that, we have a minimum requirement of 2. In addition to that, we have other KPIs that are optional. For example, the startup created. So if you plan to create a startup as a result of the project, if you plan to file a patent during or a trademark during the project, this would be the EIT 1.1 intellectual property. And we have some other more in terms of additional pilot scaling, public realm impairments. These optional KPIs will give you additional points in the evaluation. Please make sure that you read the annex that we have with the list of KPIs, because there you will find the actual definitions and all the requirements that are needed to fulfill this KPI at the end of the project. Okay. Now I will move on to financial aspects. here in this slide, basically we summarize something I've already said before. It's about the total budget allocated for this call, 8 million euros. And you can see here spread across the 3 topics. And as I said before, the project should range between 250 to 500,000 euros, and we will evaluate the budget and its value for money, depending on the proposed impact that you put forward. The minimum co-funding rate is 35% across the project. That means that different partners can have different co-funding rates as long as the overall project co-fund meets this 35 percentage, with the exception of RISE applicants. RISE applicants are those that come from countries in the Regional Innovation Scheme who have a minimum individual co-funding rate of 25%. However, the budget for RISE is limited, so you will see in the call document, we have a prioritization of RISE countries where we would allocate the RISE budget. One of the key aspects and key characteristics, I would say, of EIT urban mobility projects or any projects that are funded by a KIC is the financial sustainability. So projects funded under our program must contribute to achieving the EIT urban mobility financial sustainability. That means that part of the funding that you receive needs to return back to EIT urban mobility. The partner responsible for that is the commercial partner, okay? And these commercial partners, if there's more than one, each of them would be responsible, have 3 types of financial sustainability mechanism. You can go through the sales pathway. That means that you will give a financial contribution in exchange for sales support. Another option is to go through the investment pathway, where the commercial partners gives equity shares to EIT Urban Mobility, or if your project is about creating a new company spin out as a result of the project, EIT Urban Mobility would acquire equity shares into the new company. This is quite specific from the model of all the KICs of EIT Urban Mobility, and because of that, we have a dedicated session on Thursday where they will go through the all the commercialization aspects and the financial sustainability aspects. So don't miss out on this one, as it's very, very important for us. Now I will move on a little bit into the procedure for this call, how it's going to be checked and evaluated. The first step, once you submit the proposal, is we will check the admissibility and eligibility. What we mean by that? The first thing to check for us that we will do is checking if your proposal is complete, if it has been submitted in time via our online submission tool, which is Plaza, and it's written in English and has all the mandatory sections and annexes. So this is just a completeness check that we do. And once we do that, we will rank your proposal as admitted. That means you need to submit before 4th of June at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. So anything that goes after 5, it won't be admissible, even if it's 1 or 2 minutes late. And you need the mandatory sections. That's the application form that you submit online via Plaza, and one of the annexes, which is the business model canvas. This is mandatory. A part of that, as I said, you have supporting documents that are optional that you can submit as well. This, we encourage you to do it, but it's not part of this admissibility check. So if you don't submit any supporting document, apart from the business model canvas, then we can still go ahead with the evaluation. Once a proposal has been admitted as complete or admitted, we go through the eligibility check. And here we check several things of your proposal. The first one is the registration of the partners. So all applicants, all the partners in a consortium have to have fully completed the partner identification form, PIF, in Plaza. And in that partner information form, you need to include the PIC number. This is the number given by the European Commission in the participant portal, and it's mandatory in order for you to receive funds from the EU. We encourage everybody to do that as soon as possible, both if you don't have PIC number or if you are not yet registered in Plaza, make sure you do that as soon as possible, and you don't try to do that on the last day before submission. Because for us, it takes us some time to validate the partner information form. If something is missing, we go back to you, etc. So as we recommend to do that weeks before the submission deadline, although, I mean, it takes us usually 2 to 3 working days to verify all the information. The second aspect of the eligibility is that applicants, including all consortium partners, are located in a EU member state or third country associated within Horizon Europe. You can have, for example, some applicants coming from non-Horizon Europe countries, for example, Switzerland, but in that case, they need to contribute with their own funds. Then in terms of consortium is what I mentioned before, we need at least 3 independent entities established in at least 2 different countries of the EU or countries associated to Horizon Europe. And within this partnership, we need at least 1 commercial partner and minimum 2 demo hosts from 2 different eligible countries. Part of the eligibility, we are going to check that you fulfill the minimum requirements of co-funding, meaning the 35% across the project, or in case of risk applicants, the minimum individual co-funding rate of 25%. And also that you fulfill the KPI, the minimum KPIs. That means 1 marketed innovation and 2 demo pilot living labs. In some cases, you might be required to provide some declarations that, for example, demonstrate the affiliation to a city or a private contract. We will check that as part of the eligibility. For certain aspects of the eligibility, if we see that you're not fulfilling it, we are going to contact you and allow for 5 natural days for you to provide the extra information. Otherwise, the proposals will not be eligible. Then I will move on to the evaluation process and its timeline. So the deadline is as 4th of June. After that, in June, we are going to do the admissibility and eligibility check. And those that are deemed admitted and eligible, we're going to start with the external evaluation in June, July. In July, we expect to notify those that are invited to the panel hearings. Those will be the shortlisted projects that will go and present to our selection committee in September. The overall results of the call will be published in October with, as I said, the tentative start date for projects November, December. So this year we want to start a little bit early if possible, because usually we used to start 1st of January, but if we see that projects move forward and move fast in the conditions clearing phase, we would aim to start projects in November or December. The external evaluation, it's the standard that we follow over the past years. This will be carried out by 3 independent external expert evaluators. And you can see here the criteria that they will evaluate. The first criteria, strategic fit, that's 15 points, and it's the first qualifying phase. What I mean here is that there are 3 questions, and there is a threshold minimum. What I mean is you need to have a minimum score of 3 in each of them in order to pass and qualify for the second phase of the evaluation. So this is very important that you make sure that you align well with the strategic fit of the proposal. And then once any proposal that qualifies in the strategic fit, they would go into the second qualifying phase, which is the full evaluation. And here we rank proposals according to 3 criteria: excellence, impact, and implementation. And here you can see the points that we give to each of them. All the details on the evaluation criteria are available in the call manual. So for each of the sections, you can see the kind of issues that we will be, that the evaluators will be checking on. And importantly, and this is a bit of a tip, all the evaluation criteria are fully aligned with the application form in Plaza. What I mean here, you can see an example. This is the application form, and we are asking, for example, there is a section on the addressable market and another one on the unique selling points and competitive advantage of your solution. This is directly aligned with the evaluation criteria that you see here on the right, where it states the proposally clearly identifies the addressable market and customer segments, and the value proposition and unique selling points are convincing when compared to solutions currently available in the market. So we encourage you really to take a look very closely at the evaluation criteria and make sure you tick all the points. And then, as I said, the proposals, the best proposals, that means the proposals that rank at or above 65 points in the external evaluation and are equaling no more than 200% of the available budget per topic, we will invite them to the second stage. The second stage has the format of a panel hearing, which is online. And for each proposal, we will invite 3 representatives. This is the project lead, commercial partner, and 1 demo host. Each proposal will be asked to prepare a 15-minute pitch, followed by a 15-minute Q&A with our selection committee, which is composed by the innovation director, our CFO, and another member of the management team at EIT Euromobility. For that, you don't have to worry right now, because any proposal that gets shortlisted, you will receive all the templates and instructions in due course. But it's if you take a look at the assessment factor for the hearing and portfolio selection, here you can see what we are going to rank during the hearing. So it's going to be about the quality and credibility of the hearing, of the pitch that you deliver, and how you answer the questions. We are going to also consider some business intelligence factors on the track record of the different members of the consortia. We are going to assess the EU dimension, if it brings a good added value in terms of EU dimension, and finally, portfolio fit, how it complements our existing portfolio. And this is 25 points on top of the points that you receive from the external evaluation. And now this is my part, and I will take a bit of time to recover my breath, and I hand over to Marta, my colleague Marta.
Thank you, Georgina. So hi, everyone, and nice to meet you all. Marta Alvarez, I'm responsible for partners and stakeholders relations. And today I'm going to give you an overview, as Georgina said in the beginning, of the main benefits of becoming a member of EIT Euromobility, which I'm sure will be of your interest. So we can move to the next slide. And so EIT Euromobility is the largest European innovation community for urban mobility. Our community, as we always say, is our main asset and includes industry. There is large enterprises, SMEs, startups, universities too, research centers, students, government at local, regional, national, and of course, EU level, and non-government associations. So we innovate with more than 950 currently entities across Europe, and we currently have over 250 partners, including over 80 cities and regions. So in the next slide, we say that our main goal is to accelerate the transition towards a sustainable and decarbonized urban mobility. And since 2020, we have implemented over 250 pilots in more than 110 cities. So what we're doing is we are creating impact. We are helping cities find, test, and implement the most appropriate solutions for their mobility challenges. So if we move on, so we are all over Europe, and if your proposal is selected, you will receive support and be contacted by our headquarters teams and local offices we have across Europe. These local offices are 5, and they are located in Barcelona, Copenhagen, Amsterdam, Prague, and Munich, to give full coverage to all European geography, and they will serve as the primary contact points for engaging in our activities. So additionally, you can see we have our regional innovation scheme, where we extend support to regions that have traditionally faced market challenges, fostering specific local actions in these specific countries. So if we move on, one of the key benefits of being partner of WEET Urban Mobility, we can go to this slide, lies in the networking and business development opportunities within the network. We collaborate with our partners from across Europe on local projects and initiatives. So how do we boost this networking? First, we promote strategic dialogue through some groups focus on key topics in thematics such as logistics, mobility data management, electrification and alternative fuels, and public transport. In these groups, partners can discuss and set future strategies and initiatives. Then there is the marketplace, an open platform showcasing market-ready solutions. And at the end, we facilitate connections and support matchmaking through the year. In fact, there are 2 ideal locations during the year for partners to network and get the latest insights into urban mobility opportunities. One is the Tomorrow Mobility event. I guess you already know, is our flagship event, and their side events organized specifically for our partners. This year is scheduled from 5th to 7th November in Barcelona as usual. And secondly, another event very important for network and for partners is our exclusive event for partners that we have every year. And this year it was held last month of March in Prague. So if we go to the next slide. So by becoming a partner, we will support you to find opportunities, whether they are funded by EIT Urban Mobility or other funding sources. So to access to ideation and customized mapmaking, ideation services, we can connect you with the most updated CDG challenges and key European agents in urban mobility, in the whole European ecosystem. And as I was saying before, we don't limit our support to our funding, but you will also have support to access to other sources of funding at European, national, and regional level, with programs, as you can read here, such as New European Bauhaus or Interreg. So if we move on, after this explanation, so if you are interested in joining our network and community, these are the different memberships we have. So for private sector, that is companies, universities, and research centers, we have our gold and silver categories. Our gold category, with an annual fee of 30,000 euro, is the premium one, where you can have access to all benefits package, and there is a customized support from our side. And with the silver category, with an annual fee of 10,000 euros, you have a limited access to this service package. And very important, if you are an SME or an NGO, you will have a reduced annual fee of 5,000 euros. Cities, on the other side, are offered a special membership package with an annual fee of 10,000 euros, and they have a full access to gold members services, plus additional services only for cities. And small cities, they have a reduced annual fee of 5,000 euros. So in this table, you can find all the information about our services. And if you want, of course, additional information, do not hesitate to contact us and to contact, yes, through our local offices or through our headquarters teams. So if you can go to the next slide, I think we have, yes, here all local offices' email addresses. So I repeat, do not hesitate to contact us, and thank you a lot for your attention today.
Thank you very much, Marta, for your explanation. Yes, so basically, if your project is selected, you would be expected also to join our community and benefit from all these activities and services that Marta has described. Before we move on into the Q&A, we are reaching the end of this webinar. I wanted to very briefly present all the opportunities you have now to connect with potential applicants through the B2Match platform that we are using for this call. You have all registered for this webinar in B2Match, and you will see on the tab menu that you have, under the menu, you have participants, and there you can search any person who has registered, any organization, and you can connect with them. The idea is that through this database of participants, you can find collaborators. You can bookmark them. You can search by type of organization, by country. So for example, if you are a commercial partner or a technology center and you're looking for demo hosts, you can look for them through B2Match, and you can request a meeting or chat with them through the same platform. You can see here on the screenshot. So that's the first functionality that B2Match allows you to matchmake. And then you will see another on the menu again, another option, which is opportunities. Here you can create your own opportunities to share on the platform. So if you have a project idea, you want to present your expertise, you have a specific request, you can publish them here in the opportunities, and you can browse and filter the opportunities posted by others. Once you see the opportunity, you can send a message or request a meeting. And finally, you have the meetings option. So under the menu meetings, you will see the availability to sign up for the long-term matchmaking and request to schedule a video call with any of the person that has registered in B2Match and that has allowed to be contacted. And so anytime between 19th of April until the 30th of June. We've just put it even past beyond the deadline of the call in case you want to continue to collaborate. You can set up these online meetings. And actually, you will see all our staff also is here, so you can connect with us. Specifically, for example, there's all the colleagues that are looking after at the different topics of innovation, of commercial sustainability, etc. You can connect with us through B2Match platform. Yes, so this is all the content we wanted to give today. Just a reminder that this afternoon at 2:30, we will have the first of our thematic sessions on public transport, and where we are going to present a bit more the topic and what is expected, etc. And before that, I think we have some time for questions. And I have here my colleague Emma, who will see who has posted any questions on the chat that we can answer.
Good morning, everyone. Let me read out our first question. And if you have any questions, please do go ahead and add them to the Q&A functionality. So first question for you, Georgina. Will it be possible to get a copy of the slides presented in the previous intervention explaining some details of the selection process?
I'm not sure, Emma. Are we putting the slides as well on B2Match or just the recording?
So the recording, and we can also add the slide deck to B2Match. So you'll also be able to find the recording on the official call webpage.
Okay, so yes, so the slides will be available, but in any case, I mean, all the content that I presented today, it's in the call manual. The call manual is the main document that for the call. So you will see it's quite long because it has 40 something pages. So this is a bit the headlines, right? But you will see that if you need more detail, I would encourage everybody to take a look at the call manual, which is available on the call website.
Next question. For solutions below TRL 6, what alternatives are there?
Well, so our program, as I say, all our innovation programs, actually, because we are so focused on bringing the solutions to market, we work on close to market. That means we need a minimum of TRL 6. We don't fund anything below that. For that, I would say you would have to look at other funding programs. For example, Horizon Europe, they tend to support projects and products that are at lower TRL levels, also some national funding, I would say. Thank you.
Excellent. Next question. Is EIT membership eligible in the support budget?
What does it mean? Well, I guess it means if it's eligible within the budget of the project, if that's what
It sounds like it.
It looks like, I would say it's not.
Okay, excellent. Can the lead and demo partners be from the same country and the technological partner from a third country?
You would need, so you can have a lead and a demo from the same country, but remember that for the two demos, they have to be from two different countries. So you cannot have, for example, the lead and the two demos from France, and then the technology partner from another country. You would list, for example, the lead and one demo from France, and then another demo from another country, plus the technology expert partner as well. So important here is that the two demos, they need to be from two different countries. And if you fulfill that, then you fulfill the criteria of having two countries in the consortia.
Okay, so should all the 3 or more independent entities be members of EIT Urban Mobility at the moment of submission?
No.
So,
no. Well, maybe Marta, do you want to answer that? I already said it, but maybe you can give more explanation.
No, it's not. So they become partners when they are selected and they run the project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. So it's only if you become a project partner as part of a successful submission, then you would become a member of EIT Urban Mobility. Next one I see here. What's the minimum time a beneficiary must be a member of EIT Urban Mobility?
Can you repeat again? Sorry, Emma.
Yep. What's the minimum time a beneficiary must be a member of EIT Urban Mobility?
Maybe Marta, do you want to answer that?
Yes, the minimum time, thank you, Georgina, is the time the project is running. So of course, we invite partners to extend the membership because we have all the kind of services that you have seen beyond the urban mobility funded project. But the minimum time would be when the partners are enrolled in the project itself.
Next question. Is Italy still considered a risk country?
I think so. I would have to check, but I would, on top of my mind, I would say yes. But I'm not 100% sure.
Which country was it?
Sorry, Italy. Marta, do you know? At some point they were not.
Because we have this slide with naming all the risk countries, so we can fastly check.
Okay, let me check. This one here.
If I may jump in, Georgina?
Yes. Oh, there you go. Adriana, welcome to our session.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks very much. And sorry for popping up just at the end. But in the call manual, we also list the risk countries that are going to be prioritized. This has to do with what we have done already and the support that we have provided to different risk countries. So even though Marta is showing the risk classification, please go to the call manual so you can see the entities from the underrepresented risk countries that will be prioritized during the selection process.
Thank you.
Next question we have, are there any additional requirements for companies from large industry?
In terms of consortium composition, no. There are no requirements, but we do see a role for large industry to be part of the consortia and add value, especially either they can be the commercial partner, we can still support them, or they can be the technology validator or technology expert partner that we recommend to have in each consortia. But it's not compulsory to have large industry.
And this question here, I'm not sure if we'll be able to answer that today, or perhaps more clearly it will be answered in the financial sustainability session. So how much equity do you take for the innovation call?
I think it depends on the maturity of the company, and there is an assessment to be done. So it really depends also on the project size, as far as I know. But certainly, I mean, this is a question you can pose to our colleagues from the financial sustainability team on Thursday.
Yes, you'll see
Yes,
that
and
there's
if
a
I may add over there.
Yes, Adriana.
Yeah, sorry, Emma and Georgina, if I may add over there, again, you will have different pathways. And in this case, it will be during the second stage of the selection that this will have like a final answer. There will be an assessment step to understand what will be the equity pathway for commercialization.
Yes, so we highly recommend you attend our financial sustainability webinar session on Thursday to get more insight into this. If I understand correctly, the external assessment phase is the most important, and we have to reach at least 65 points to go to the second phase.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, if you look at the overall points grid that we have, it's 100 points. And indeed, there is a minimum threshold, so only proposals that are above 65 points will go into the second stage, which is a panel hearing. But there's also another consideration, is that we are only inviting to the panel hearing double the number of proposals that we can fund. So if we have lots of proposals with very high ranking, it could be that we are not shortlisting you if you are about just slightly above 65, because we already had double the number of proposals with the higher scores. I'm not sure if I answered it well, but yeah, overall, usually it's proposals that are above 65.
Question about third countries. Which are the third countries? Are there any countries where EIT would like to develop their presence?
I think we don't have any prioritization in that sense in terms of third countries associated to, but there's I mean, if you go to the core manual, we have specifically put the link to the official website from the European Commission where you have the listed countries. So here, I mean, some of them are, for example, Norway, the UK, there's also some other countries. So I would encourage you to take a look at that. But as EIT Urban Mobility, I think maybe Adriana, but I don't think we have any prioritization in terms of third countries.
No, I think, as you said, we work mainly in Europe, and we are aligned with the Horizon Europe program in terms of coverage and the scope of our work.
Yeah.
There is a requirement of being at TRL minimum of 6, which means the money should only be spent on the deployment. Our main solution is being already deployed, but the scope we're thinking of includes also the development of the module that will support the use case, and this module is below TRL 6. Is the development of the product an eligible cost?
Okay, I mean, we would have to go maybe understand a bit more, I would say, the development for this product and understand this kind of product. But yeah, so what we mean is not, so it's the technology that you use should be at the right TRL level. So minimum TRL 6, and you know that it's working. Okay, so, and then move forward during the project in TRL 7 and 8. So that means that you are further developing and testing and demonstrating it in the demos. So you can have an existing product, and you will see actually in the KPIs, so the marketed innovation is about new or significantly improved products. So you can have a product where you want to add a new module functionality that could also be, I would say, eligible or within the scope of the call. But you really need to demonstrate that it's a significant improvement to what you already have. And in principle, yeah, at least you should know that maybe the model is not built yet, but you know that technology has been tested and it works, and that you're able to develop it and test it during the project and be ready to be commercialized at the end of the project. That's the main aim.
And if I may add over there, it's a difficult question always for us, also for the evaluators. So be convincing in the way that you explain. And for Georgina, myself, it's difficult to understand the exact situation. So we have our innovation lifecycle officers in the hubs. We will list the contacts in case that you want to perhaps elaborate a little bit more and get some guidance regarding how to approach this in the proposal preparation.
Exactly. And you can always reach out to us also through this email address, innovationcall@2025@eitourbanmobility.eu. I'm mindful of time, Emma. It's 11 o'clock. How many?
We have 7 questions
We
remaining.
have a few questions, yeah.
So the next question is, the FSM is only mandatory for the commercial partner?
That's correct. Yeah, straight answer.
Public authorities as demo hosts should be municipalities, or could it also be provinces? I would say our focus is on cities and urban environments. So it would have to be the city or a linked third party to a city. So somehow if it's a regional agency but has direct links with a city, then yes, it's eligible. Okay, so one more question. There are 2 further questions, but I think they're quite specific to the organization or the solution. So I would say, please reach out to us directly for those specific cases. But the last one, which I think applies to, or could be of interest to other people, is that is the UK part of EIT West and Norway is part of EIT North?
Correct.
And that is correct. Yeah, for the Innovation Hub West, UK, Innovation Hub North, Norway.
Exactly, and this is the first year now that the UK is back to Horizon Europe, where UK applicants are
eligible.
Are eligible to receive funding from EIT Urban Mobility directly. So we're very much looking forward to having some applications with UK partners. And yes, if you have questions, your regional office is Innovation Hub West.
And very quickly on the open source is okay. Just have like clear IP strategy and elaborate on the description of how you're going to commercialize the final solution. And on Tartu, I invite you to go to the call manual just to be super sure about the risk priority countries that we're going to be targeting this year. And yeah, mindful of time. I'm afraid that we might have to wrap up now and follow up via email.
Exactly. And Adriana, since you were not able to join us at the beginning, maybe you want to have our closing words?
Yes, I appreciate that you give me these 10 seconds to apologize first. It's been a hectic morning family-wise, but we're very excited to launch this series of webinars where we invite you to learn a little bit more about our Open Innovation Call for 2025. I think Georgina has walked you through the main features and our ambition to create more livable, sustainable cities. So we're looking forward to receiving your proposals and getting started with new excellent projects. So thank you, Georgina, and thanks everybody for your understanding.
Yeah, thank you, Adriana. Thank you also, Marta and Emma, for the support. And yes, don't forget there is another session this afternoon on public transport. So if you're interested in this topic, make sure that you register. Thank you very much. I hope it was clear to you, and otherwise, please contact us and have a great morning. Thank you very much.